everybody. I'm your host, Bryce Dolan, and this is your Top Intelligence Agencies Review. And today on the show, we have a story from the United States Coast Guard. Now, we've talked about the Coast Guard a number of times on the show. First, we talked about the Flying Santa and delivering presents by helicopter during the Christmas season. And then more recently, the Coast Guard cutter Sherman and their anti-drug patrols in the Eastern Pacific, and how they helped a fishing crew on Friday the 13th. Now, if you're like me when you think of the Coast Guard, you really don't think of them having to deal with missions or situations in sub-zero temperatures in freezing water. First thing that I go to is being based out of Honolulu if I was in the Coast Guard. However, there are some crews that deal with icy situations on a daily basis, like the Coast Guard crew that guards or monitors Lake Champlain. Now let's take a look at just a little bit of what this crew has to go through so they can make sure they're prepared for any situation.
We can get a call in the middle of the night, we need to go, we need to pull somebody out of the water, we need to know exactly what we're doing and how to do it.
It's important to be at the top of your game, make sure you're always ready all the time.
Well, yesterday we were out and it was 6 below with a wind chill, so as soon as you got out of the water, everything was freezing. It's pretty typical for what we're doing. We'll be out there training 2 to 3 hours and everything will freeze up, the equipment and stuff. But that's good for us. We learn how to deal with that, because if we're out there for several hours looking for somebody or trying to pull someone out of the water, we'll have to deal with frozen equipment.
We're responsible for the entire lake, 130 miles north to south. We have a lot of other government agencies that help us out a lot, fire departments, police departments. They all have training, they all have equipment. A lot of times what happens is people go in and they'll panic, and then they'll just, instead of trying to get themselves out, they just want to hold on to the ice, so they get kind of nervous. So the first thing we'll try to do is actually try to talk them out of the ice and kind of give them a demonstration. Several techniques that we do. We have the cold water rescue sling, which is a yellow sling that floats. We have the Marsar shuttleboard. We can use the rescue sling by itself. We can use the rescue sling and the shuttleboard together. A couple different techniques we can use with the shuttleboard. We can just slide it out and have somebody hold on to it, pull them back in. We can go into the water and get the victim. It's the last thing we want to do, even with all the equipment that we have. We want to try to stay as dry as we can. We also have a 15-foot skiff ice, which is a inflatable boat. When you use that, we can either push it out or we can have a little motor that goes on the back of it. If we have open water, we can use it as a traditional boat.
Wear a life jacket, carry some sort of item that can help get you out of the ice, be it ice awls or ice pick, and make a float plan with people. Tell people where you're going, leave them a number they can reach you at, let them know how long you're going to be out, when you anticipate being back, where exactly you're going, and if you change anything, let that person know.
What an impressive video from the U.S. Coast Guard, and we commend the men and women of that crew who train so they're well prepared for any situation up on Lake Champlain. I can't imagine what it would be like saving people in the open water, let alone saving someone who's freaking out because they're in icy water. That would just be a whole nother level, in my opinion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a story that goes along with this video, and you can find that story and this video by clicking on the link below in the description. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can get notified every time a new video is posted. Give our Facebook pages a like and follow us on Twitter. But that does it for your Top Intelligence Agencies Review. I was your host, Bryce Dolan.